Filipino, the sympathizers of FLM, what is your objective or reason for coming out and exposing Francis Leo Marcos as a scammer? What is your goal here?
My goal, first
Or
of all,
reason? Mm-hmm.
yeah, first of all, exposing him. I didn't expose him; he exposed himself.
So it is his doing. Yeah,
It's his
yeah.
own doing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you, me, or anyone else have nothing to do with it. If the bloggers decides to pick up where he's left off and
Mm-hmm.
catch every word that he has said and put it into a video, or at least create their own content through what he has said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that wrong?
I
He's using
agree.
the bloggers are using his own words, and he's caught in the act. He's exposed himself. So what objective do I have in exposing him? Nothing, other than to warn the people like myself who's been
So
victimized,
that's it.
you know,
Giving warning,
to,
at
to be
least. Mm-hmm.
to yeah, to take heed of my experience so that they don't get scammed like I have. It's hard enough to admit that that you've been conned,
Mm-hmm.
or you've been, I don't know, scammed by
Mm-hmm.
someone that
Mm-hmm.
that has come into your house, who's lived in your house for almost a month,
Wow.
who was a perfect
Scared.
stranger,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And I was just getting to know him. We were on a long-term relationship. So what benefit do I get from that, other than I was trying to build a relationship, trying to get to know him,
Yeah.
but he's got hidden agendas that I didn't know, and I didn't realize that he's exposing me to something dangerous, like
Yes.
going to jail. You know,
I
like,
agree.
am I going to just sit there and do nothing?
Is it okay to mention, Ate, that the foundation that is planning to put up in Australia is actually supposed to receive funds from everywhere?
Yeah,
Can you
yes,
tell us more about
yes.
that?
Um, Basically, what it was that his idea was to establish a charity here,
Mm-hmm.
and which is the Volunteers Against Poverty Foundation in Australia.
So it's
So
gonna
I
be
did
some kind of uh, a branch of the parent company here in the Philippines. Is
in
that?
the Philippines.
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
so it's an extension.
Uh
It's
huh.
an extension of. So we have the parent company, or the main company in the Philippines,
Uh huh.
and then he wanted to expand internationally. He said that he's already got one in Europe, US, um,
Wow.
Singapore,
How about Greece?
uh, Greece. Yeah, Greece, and now he wants to start in Australia. So I just honestly, I thought, oh, okay, and because he's shown me the certificate of registration
Mm-hmm,
in the
mm-hmm.
Philippines, and I thought, okay, well, he's got that. It looks
Mm-hmm.
legitimate from
Uh
the
huh.
photos. And so because he was wanting to establish that, I wanted him to bring that, including the profit and loss statement, including the tax return, because he
Mm.
said that the foundation is already been established in the Philippines, so it
Mm-mm.
wouldn't be hard for him to bring those kind of things, right? And unbeknownst to him, I was already asking for some advice from a chartered accountant,
Mm-hmm.
how to what documents I will need.
Uh-huh.
And at that stage, I ended up registering the business when he came here under a business, and then
Mm-hmm.
uh, my chartered accountant said, "No, you've done it wrong." So he said it
Oh my
won't
god.
it won't yeah. So he said to me, it won't stand up with the ATO, Australian Taxation
Mm-hmm,
Office,
mm-hmm.
ASIC, and as well as the Australian Charity and Not-for-Profit Organisations. So those three government agencies are needing specific documents,
Mm-hmm.
or in a specific way of registering it. So he didn't know that there's going to be all sorts of legislations that he's got to follow.
So
So he brought
will it take a year to establish such charitable institution? You think?
because it would take a longer process. It wouldn't be a month or anything like that because of the way that he because it's $1 million foundation, right? According to my chartered accountant, we needed to also make sure that the constitutions are within the bylaws, within the good governance of the with the ATO, so that it will pass the audit requirement. And the way that the constitution and the bylaws that Francis showed me would not stand under the scrutiny of the ATO, ASICS, and the ACNC.
Probably here in the Philippines, it's much easier to establish a charitable foundation, but not there. And not also, there's going to be millions of dollars to be deposited
and that's
in the
why
foundation. To be received,
and that's
so not,
and that's why I needed this tax returns and profit and loss, so that my accountant will know how to audit the company, because when you're looking at to organize a business here or even a foundation, you have small, medium, and large companies. So that will be determined on the numbers of members or number of employees that you have and how much money are coming in. So if there's X amount of dollars that are coming in, you will go into those 3 tiers of small, medium, and large. So if
that could be considered as a large foundation, something like that.
A large foundation. So it's a large foundation. You are audited every month.
Oh, so it's never gonna be easy. And he got stressed, and that might be the reason why he left Australia with
very
fallen shoulder.
He left. He's left Australia very frustrated from what I can see.
And you actually asked him to provide at least money for processing the papers there, but he couldn't.
At least it's part of it's part of my test.
It's just a test.
It's part of my test as well. Although I was starting to get stressed because I'm starting to lose a lot of money helping him out. Plus, we also had our own expenses as well. And
so he wanted you to be the one to spend money in establishing that foundation there.
And so I thought to myself, hang on, wait a minute, this is a foundation, right? And I thought, he's got a established parent company in the Philippines. Wouldn't it be easier for me to ask the parent company to lend some money into to helping organize the foundation and have it tax refunded later on? Do a tax return, claim it on tax under business, you know what I mean, during the fiscal year. So, do you know what I mean? I thought to myself, why am I spending my money when he's got a business and I've got a registered business, So I started to ask him. I thought, hang on, I'll see. And I asked him for $2,000, and he couldn't even give me any money.
And you actually spent more than that before he came to Australia.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay, Ate, I'm just going to translate some of what you have told me. Ito kasi si Francis Leo Marcos magtatayo daw ng foundation sa Australia, parang branch or what's the right term, Ate? It's
I would say a branch. It's like a sister company.
Of the parent company here in the Philippines. May foundation na nga siya dito. What's the name again?
Volunteers Against Poverty.
Is that
Foundation.
Okay, Volunteers Against Poverty. So VAP. Okay, Against Poverty. Okay, tapos ang mangyayari kasi guys, pag na-establish na yung sister company sa Australia, doon papasok yung milyon-milyong dolyar. This funds that's gonna come in is in dollars. Tama? Yun, sa dolyar yun, doon papasok. So, akala niya madali lang yung pag-establish ng foundation doon sa Australia. Pero hindi pala ganun kadali kasi talagang isi-scrutinize yan ng gobyerno doon or kung ano man, sino man ang magche-check niyan. So, umuwi na lang siya nang walang napala doon. At tinitest nga ni ate na magbigay man lang kahit $2,000 kung talagang meron siya ditong kumbaga may foundation siya dito sa Pilipinas na kaya talagang mag-provide ng budget man lang. Tinitest lang naman natin, but he didn't. Ate, there's a question in here from Servicio Publico. Sharon, have you filed a complaint already to NBI or maybe CITG? I don't know what's the branch of the government that you are supposed to come to. Did you already file a complaint already to the NBI? Your account of the event, how Norman Mangusin tried to trick you, is so consistent with the other stories I have already read and heard.
Yes, I have.
Wow.
They have my formal statement, both the NBI and the CIDG, and that's one of the reasons why I couldn't come out, because I was being investigated because I had a relationship or former relationship with Francis Leo Marcos, and so I was busy preparing my statements as well as certain documents to pass forward to the CIDG and as well as the NBI. So that's the reason why I wasn't able to come out and speak out, because I also knew that he was also going to be arrested anytime soon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, I just want to thank first Ate Girlie 88 here for giving me 5,001. I think this is a Korean. Please let me know, Ate Girlie 88. What is this one? I think this is super chat. You're always welcome, Princess. I am one of your fans. Stay pretty. I think that's pretty. Thank you. Thank
You are
you.
pretty.
I don't think so, Ate, but thank you so much. Ate Dels Cobardo from Singapore is here. Shout out to you. Ate, third question from the followers of FLM. Why did you come out now and not after you have found out that he was a fraud? Why now?
Why now? Can you repeat that again?
Why did you come out just now and not after you have found out he was a fraud? Probably, why didn't you come out and expose yourself in 2017 and just now?
Well, actually, I have exposed him in 2017.
Oh, this was not heard on the news.
Yeah. Well, not in that way. So basically, I heard that he was going. I was forwarded a video or like on Facebook that he had a optical mission and QCPD, and so I commented after listening to his statement, and I commented there just to make people aware, the netizens as well as the public or internationally, just to let people know that his statement was false, because he was mentioning about the foundation here in Australia, and I felt like he's making the foundation look bigger than than what it actually is, when in reality there's no foundation here in Australia. It was terminated back on August of 2017, and he had an optical mission in November 2017. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to mislead the public if they heard that statement and then there's no comments or anything. I felt like I needed to be a little bit more responsible and accountable for what had happened here in Australia. Although nothing may have happened here, and there's no optical mission that has happened here, or any charity that's happened here, because it never came through, as you're already aware. I closed everything, finished everything, including our relationship, and I blocked him. And I blocked him after that. So, so that's basically one of the questions that I've answered. And second of all, I was being investigated because of my former relationship with Francis. Okay, and that's why I had to make a
investigation now.
Yes,
oh
I already knew. I already knew in May. So I
May
had
this
to
year, Ate?
May this year. So he was arrested on the 19th of May. Okay, I made my statement 3 weeks earlier.
Oh, So in the beginning of
Yeah.
May, something like that.
May,
Mm-hmm,
yes,
mm-hmm.
yes, beginning of some beginning of May.
Uh-huh.
So I already made my formal statements and I put forward to the NBI and the CIDG. I forwarded it first to the CIDG because they were investigating me, and then I
Wow.
forwarded my statement later on to the NBI because they're the one that you know that did the arrest. So
I see.
because of that, I couldn't come out. I couldn't come out, and I felt that what was happening now, that what he was doing was none of my business. I've already, for me, I just felt that whatever happened in 2017 is no longer my responsibility. That's happening now in 2020.
I agree with you, Ate. If ever you will be requested to come here to the Philippines to testify against him, this is asked by Kuya Arman DJ, will you come home? And is
It
there a
will all depend.
possibility? Mm-hmm.
I don't know because nothing really happened.
Mm-hmm.
That I will leave it up to the investigators to decide what course of action they need to take.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, we have a law. Let's allow the process of the investigation just keep going through and see what the outcome is, because I believe that there's still going to be an inquest that's happening as well.
Ah,
So, let's be fair.
yeah,
It's sad, for me, um, it's sad to, I'm not celebrating in any way
of course.
of what happened to Francis because
Mm-hmm.
I know the guy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I, I pity him in that he's put himself in this position. He's had a few chances to change his ways,
Mm-hmm.
to turn his life around, whether
Yeah.
it would have been in his previous relationship or me or with his current one. I believe that we had a good intention for our future,
Mm.
and he could have done all of these things in a good way without having to victimize all the people,
I agree.
in right.
Yeah.
So I just I really pity him because he does have a good side. He does have a good side
Mm.
in him.
Okay.
So that's why I sort of also can empathize with his followers because I know why they fell in love with him, because he's charismatic. He is so
Ah.
nice. He can laugh at any jokes. When he gets his way,
Mm.
when he gets his way. But when he doesn't get his way, you've seen him. You've seen him with on all his on his YouTube channels when he keeps challenging all these vloggers, and when he gets trapped, he gets angry, challenge even the interviewers, and when they're only exposing the truth.
Yeah, I remember even that someone have, I think, sent you a message that he is actually Norman Mangusin, and what did he say to you before?
Oh, yeah. Before he came to Australia, his Facebook exploded with all
Okay.
these arguments, and
Mm-hmm.
because back then, I was here and in Australia, and he was in the Philippines, and so when he rang me, I said, "What's going on?" And I said, "Who's this person?" And he says, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's just a troll." And I believed him because it sounded like a troll account, right? And then he
Ah.
says, "Just block him." And I said, "But he's accusing you of somebody else." And he says, "Don't worry." I said, "If you're going to be part of the Marcos family, you have to get used to all of the bashes." Yeah,
I
right.
see.
So, and I said, "But he's saying that you're Norman Mangusin. What's that?" And he
Mm.
says, "That has been going around. That rumor has been going around for so
Since
long. It's just,
2017?
this is 2017." Like,
Oh.
and then he says that rumor is just going around for so long.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
yeah. And I said, so what if I'm Norman Mangusin? It's like, but I'm Francis Leo Marcos. And then I started to doubt him at this
Mm.
stage, that I broke up with him. I broke up with him only because it's like I I don't know. In my head, it's like, how can you lie about that and then
Yeah.
not give me a proper reasoning? So he
Yeah.
started to give me his birth certificate, his family pictures,
Mm.
um, just to prove that that's not
That
him,
that he is
And
indeed Francis Leo Marcos.
Francis Leo
Mm.
Marcos. So when I saw the birth certificate, I believed him, and I even apologized, and he got so angry, and he says, "This is the first and last time I'll ever show you my birth certificate,
Mm.
and don't ever ask me that again." And then he asked me to block this person, and I did.
Wow.
So yeah,
You listen to
and
him. Hmm.
so I listened to him, and that's I tried to break up with him twice before coming to Australia,
Wow, and he was
and
persistent and
persistent.
mhm,
He was persistent,
he
and
still
there's
come to
always a reason.
Australia.
Yeah, until he
Wow.
came to Australia. He even asked me for an airfare, and I didn't give it to him. I said to him, I said to
That
him,
was
"You're the
funny.
one that yeah." I said to him, "You're the one courting me," and I said, "If I'm going to spend that money on you, I'm going to spend it on myself, and I'll go to the Philippines, and I'll have a
Yeah,
holiday."
yes, that's actually
Yeah,
another good idea. Yeah, and
right.
speaking of Australia, Ali, someone is watching us now from Australia. It's Ate Lourdes S. She even gave me $2. Wow, if I'm gonna receive that
Wow.
one day, yeah, $2 super chat. So if ever I'm gonna receive that, say for example, in a month or two, that's gonna be for my uh,
Oh,
uh,
good
school
on
allowance.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Okay, Ate, one more question here from Norman Mangusin's followers. Francis Leo Marcos was married to a Japanese before meeting you in 2017. That made you his concubine. Were you aware?
Okay. I met Francis 2017, and he got married 2019.
2019, not 2016.
Yes. No.
Ah,
So how does
so
that make me a concubine?
yeah, so he was single maybe, or maybe if he's married to someone else, you were not aware
Yeah.
because he was sending you
No.
documents that he was single. Is that right?
Correct.
He
Yeah, he's single.
so those
That he was never
documents.
married. He was
Mm,
never married. Yeah, that he was
uh-huh.
never married. And so for me, I met him April 2017, and he married Mayo, from my understanding,
Mm-hmm.
uh
Just last year.
July. Yeah, July to
Just
2019.
last year.
From
So,
yeah,
mhm. And also,
yes.
if he was sending you documents to prove he was single, he was falsifying documents because those are documents from Philippine Statistics Authority proving that he was single and not yet married here in the Philippines. Also, his birth certificate from again from Philippine Statistics Authority saying that he was indeed Francis Leo Marcos is a falsified document. That was crazy.
Well, now we know that, because he's admitted that
Yeah,
he's not Francis Leo,
just
that he's
recently,
actually, yeah,
Norman
that he, so
Mangusin.
exactly. We're not again, going back to the first couple of questions. We didn't expose him. He exposed
He
himself.
exposed himself by letting himself into trouble. So, tagalugin ko lang guys, hindi namin kasalanan kung na-expose siya sa ganitong mga kalokohan. Kasalanan niya kasi na-involve siya sa mga kalokohan ganyan. Another silly question ate from FLM's Fanatic. You are not the type of girl that FLM will fall for. What is your comment on that? Hindi ikaw ang type niya. Hindi. What do
Well,
you think?
I I wish,
You're not pretty
at
enough for
least.
him. Hindi ka kagandahan ate ha.
Well, I
Sabi,
wish, then I wouldn't have to go through all these experiences, right?
yeah, I agree
You
with you
know,
ate. Just silly
you
question.
know, if yeah, if
Mm-mm.
that question was a woman, I would
Mm-mm.
tell her, go ahead, she can have him.